Ice in the spotlight. Paid agitators and whack jobs continue to keep the focus on ICE cleanup operations in Minneapolis. Frankly, I think the key factor is that the scumball politicians in Minnesota are doing this on purpose to take some of the focus off the massive scandals that have been uncovered there. The idea here behind the ICE raids is to remove criminals who have committed rape, murder, and robbery. Why would any community refuse to turn them over to the feds? Further, why would any society release them into their own neighborhoods? Think about it, folks. So, predictably, another American has been shot dead in the protests. This is sad and shocking. Just as Renee Good shooting was avoidable, the shooting of Alex Preddy was avoidable. I will not comment on possible liability of the agents involved in the shootings. That is up to the justice system. The first shooting seems to have more justification than the second, but there is plenty of controversy to go around. Note that Preddy is being presented by some as the second coming, an ICU nurse at the VA hospital. However, a week before his death, he engaged in a violent ICE protest where he kicked out the taillight of an ICE vehicle and somehow sustained a broken rib that day. So a week later, he appears at another ICE protest with an automatic handgun with 2 extra mags. This is serious firepower. Look, anyone who engages with law enforcement while carrying a weapon is asking for trouble. It does not matter if this is ICE or the police. This controversy seems to center on whether he pulled or displayed the handgun and if he was completely disarmed before he was shot. The band of commie losers disguised as Dems are screaming to ban ICE from the field, impeach Kristi Noem, and prosecute anyone they can think of. You know what? None of that is going to happen. Parallel to this is passing budgets that will run until the end of the fiscal year on September 30th. The Dems, having lost their stupid record government shutdown in 2025, did make deals, but covered Homeland Security funding for only 2 weeks. The Dems and some GOP are calling for ICE reforms. I may surprise some of my regular audience by saying I like some of what is proposed. Nobody given a gun by the government should be any less than fully trained. There are allegations that some ICE officers were rushed into the field with inadequate training. If true, let's fix that. 2, no law enforcement officials should be wearing a face mask. This is America, and we don't do things that way. So, you know what? I would agree to that. My compromise is that if some clown goes to the home of an ICE agent, that will be a criminal invasion of privacy. Let's say 30 days in jail and a $1,000 fine, and then second event, 6 months in jail and a $10,000 fine. Every city and state capital needs to acknowledge that no jurisdiction in the United States can be a sanctuary jurisdiction. That violates federal law. Simple. All federal funds for any purpose will be suspended due to such foolishness. 4, we need Congress to do its job for a change and implement comprehensive immigration reform on a bipartisan basis. We do need the bodies in this country. Figure out how to make it work while arresting the convicted criminals and either executing them or deporting them who are less dangerous. 5, in turn, federal judges that refuse to follow law need to be impeached immediately for blocking ICE enforcement and arrest activities. No more Mr. Nice Guy. This is Dr. David D. Schein. Thanks for joining me for this special edition of Saving America. Remember, a new Saving America show is aired on the Brushwood Media Network every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Listen on any of the 16 network stations, Apple or Google mobile app, Apple CarPlay, TuneIn, Smart Speaker, and all smart TVs. Find more information at the brushwoodmedianetwork.com. Please be sure to join us each week. We welcome and love your feedback from our growing audience.